Welcome back. Listening to Inside the Great Outdoors. Let's go to Hamden, who is patiently waiting. Buddy, how's it going?
You know, I have stealthily determined that if it was so easy to call this show, everyone would. And that's a deal right there. You know, but I also determined after Doc Norm's rouser of, hey, take care of yourself talk, RSV stands for really sick virus. And that's another one of those just came out last year immunizations that people have to make decisions on. But if you come across that, it's not too nice of a time. So, yeah, you got to figure it out, especially if you're into exposing yourself to things. If you work shows, if you work with a lot of people and this and that.
Yeah, like Carl, boy, you're all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to weigh your risks, your benefits, your liabilities with your health conditions, you know, just the common things. And then, you know, there is a reason why in medicine it is called a practice. You know, there's nothing watertight, very few things, and you have to share in that get, you know, I mean, people aren't mind.
Usually if you're old, you know, your physician will tell you to get that RSV vaccine.
Yeah, if you have
you know,
if
heart
you're in
disease,
the group of compromised, that's
right.
it. If you're compromised.
Exactly.
But,
and I think,
right, and I've been compromised
I'm
since
telling
birth,
you,
so I
I've
mean,
been
what the heck?
compromised for a long time.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
that
and
vaccine will
Mentally.
Yeah, that's part of it.
that vaccine knocked me for about 5-6 days. That RSV.
Yeah.
Did it?
You gotta
Yeah.
figure
Didn't bother me
how
at
much-
all.
Oh, that bothered
How
you.
much
You were
lower-
complaining about that vaccine to me
When?
when you got it.
This year? Or last year?
I don't know, 6-8 months ago you
Oh,
got
okay.
Got the,
You remember?
No.
it's
yes.
affected his memory.
Yeah.
Anyway.
in my case, side effect wise, how much lower can I go in standing in this
That's
place?
right.
So,
Yeah.
what the
I'm
heck,
with you
you
there.
know?
I can remember some things
But-
and other things.
Yeah.
Something that my understanding as a layman in the biz is you need to understand it takes on an average, depending what the immunization is, 2 weeks time after getting it for it to build immunity, to do its job, to be fully registered on you. It takes at least 2 weeks. And then the biggest thing, like Doc Norm was saying, the sequence of events. Yes, I personally, trying to protect the older gal that was foolish enough to marry me, I did the 3 rounds of the vid shots.
You're married to an older gal? My wife's
I
29.
am.
My wife's
Well, it's
29.
not her fault. It's not her fault. Mine pays for her sins every year we celebrate an anniversary.
must have
But
no
all that
brains either.
aside, all that aside,
Well, she's
I
got all
did
the
get
brains.
flu shot
Just ask
in
her.
one arm, and I did get the vid shot in the other arm, and I came right through it without missing a beat. The sequence of things, yes, talk to your doc, talk to your pharmacist. If you're trying to full boat these immunizations, flu, vid, RSV, bubonic plague, make sure you set up a timing pattern. You know, a lot of people, too, forget about the, what's the one that if you had chicken pox, the
Shingles.
virus-
Shingles.
Shingles.
That's
There
an
you go.
important
There's a-
one, I think. You don't want to get
Yes.
shingles. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a 2-parter. You have to be
Yeah.
faithful to coming back for
Right.
round 2. Use your head. But anyways, I just wanted to say hello, and then Doc Norm sidetracked me into oblivion, and it was a very important talk because you want to, go have a good time in the fall and the winter.
Right, you got to
with
stay
your
healthy.
seasons, okay?
Got to stay healthy.
And again, don't be afraid. Be well armed with, the classic knowledge is power, and make decisions for yourself. And that's really about where the action is. And you guys sound like you're holding up well under the pressure.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm grateful.
Good.
And I think that's enough of this malarkey. I think you've got other higher quality humans to make room for. Let's get me out of here. I'll have to issue a formal toodles, and then I'm sure good nose Joe Keogh will surface with more malarkey.
Yep.
And
Good.
life's grand.
All righty. Well, appreciate the phone call.
Thanks, Bob.
Hey, anywhere, anytime, gentlemen.
Take care.
Totals. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, and let's go to Mike. How's Mike doing?
Good morning, guys. How are you guys doing on this nice sunny weekend?
Good.
Good, Mike.
Great.
Well, yes, it is true. I have been noticing there are less butterfly insects around the west side of Cuyahoga County over here, and I'm disappointed too. I really wanted to see the morning cloak butterflies and tiger swallows and the monarchs come back too. I really want to see those.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, the only insects I've ever seen around here are dragonflies and wasp hornets and those giant angry mantids. Those mantids will rip out my fingernails if I get too close to them. So I'm not touching those without my Makita hardware gloves anymore.
There you go. Yeah. They'll get you.
Mr. Close, can you write some more history books when you have enough time, sir? I would like to learn more history about the countries you've been to and the big game hunting you accomplished.
Yeah, I'm actually at figure because I was thinking, man, what am I going to do this winter? I got a really good back supply of divers. I could work on my second book. So I'm kind of planning doing something this winter when there's too cold to be outside and too snowy. So, yeah, there's a bunch.
Yeah.
There's a bunch.
Yeah. Sir, did you go see the Blue Luxury train in South Africa when you went to Africa?
No. What's it called?
The Blue Luxury train. It's a passenger service train. It's in South Africa that's been around for, I believe, 77 years, and it goes from Cape Town to Pretoria, I believe.
No, everything
So if
I
you got
did.
any railroad train stories, that'd be great, sir.
Yeah. When I was there, I wanted to get into the bush as soon as possible.
Yeah, Joe he saddled his first Cape Buffalo back in '02. Rode that
Yeah,
around.
so we had to drive the Toyota Land Cruiser instead of take the Blue train in South Africa.
There you go.
Yeah, see, everybody had Land Cruisers, and then that was, the big thing. Then Toyota came up with their Land Cruiser.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a Land Cruiser.
The Range Rover, wasn't it?
No. Let me
the
think.
Range Rovers or
No, Range Rover I think is a Toyota, but the original
Land Rover is from Britain. The Toyota Land Cruiser is the best quality SUV that was ever manufactured, and they came out with a new model recently.
Yeah, okay, so everybody had the old style. Then when this Toyota came up, what was really cool about it, why it was the joints is a big ball. It's not like our vehicles, but it's a ball, so it could go any which direction. Well, when you're in Africa, there ain't no roads. I mean, you're just going on game trails. And so you need to be able, you don't want to get stuck out in the middle of nowhere. And so then everybody started going to those. But it was really neat when you'd look there and you see this joint, and it's like bigger than, not as big as a basketball, but a little smaller than a bowling ball. But that's the joint. That's pretty cool. So it can rotate any which way. But
that was after the mules and the dromedary camels, wasn't it?
Yes.
He's riding a camel.
Oh, boy. Anything else?
One more thing.
Camel way coolest.
What was that?
The
One more
camel way
thing,
coolest.
Dr. Norm.
Yeah.
Dr. Norm, can you please do a report about the mushroom harvesting skills that we need to know for the upcoming autumn season? That'd be great, sir.
Boy, I'm not a mycologist by any stretch of the imagination.
That's why I don't like mushrooms.
Well,
anyway.
you don't like mushrooms.
So it don't
I
matter.
like mushrooms.
Yeah, but see, I don't.
But I'm not an expert on that field. I'll tell you who is an expert.
Joe.
Who?
Joe Keel?
I don't know. Well, he knows his mushrooms.
Yeah.
But Dirkolek.
Mike
really
Dirkolek
knows his,
mushrooms.
Yeah.
I know he's a big morel collector.
Boy, he
that's
got
right.
me a bunch of morels this
that's
year.
right. Yeah, good. Okay, well, appreciate it, Mike.
Okay, Dr. Norm, can you do more research on the constellations for horoscopes if you got time? I need to know more for the Virgo constellation and the Scorpio constellation. That's the last thing, sir. Thank you very much. Have
Okay.
a nice
Okay,
See,
thanks.
Mike.
All right, Mike.
He's a Virgo. Is that what I?
It's Virgo constellation and the Scorpio.
What the
constellation.
heck's that?
Constellations. The
Constellations.
stars.
Oh,
up in the,
you know.
Oh, okay.
the sky.
I thought the horoscope. Okay. Yeah.
See, that's what's changed. When
What?
Joe was a kid, they looked up at the stars and mapped the universe. And now everybody's looking at their phone and looking down away from it. That's
Yeah.
a problem. That's
Yeah.
a problem.
Yeah, it is. It is.
But yeah,
You got to have a pretty depressing job.
oh, it is. It's I have no problem saying that I have been diagnosed with PTSD, and I trigger the 4 people getting shot is something that triggers you, and you get.
Oh yeah.
It's like a roller coaster. You
I've
never
never-
know what's gonna.
I've never seen what that like you were just explaining, and I don't.
The worst is that when
You can't unsee it.
Right.
When you see it.
and there used to be a thing this actually sort of all ties together. There's a group in a lot of places in the state and counties. They have something called victim assistance. Victims of crime or accidents or just victims of tragedies. It's like a support for
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
It gets them help. It gets them counseling. It gets them, things
Yeah.
they need. And every year at Christmas, they have something called the angel tree. And they hang ornaments with people's names on them that are victims of crime or anything.
Yeah.
And we used to go to the angel tree celebration because it celebrates the lives of all these people that are lost, and families get together and,
Yeah.
celebrate the people who were lost to tragedy.
Yeah.
And I sat there with a reporter one day, and they read the names that are on the tree.
Kind of like they did
And-
with 9/11
Yeah.
this week.
And they'll read a name. I remember that. I read a name. I remember that. I read a name. I
Wow.
remember that. And you're charting your career by death and tragedy and everything else. And you take it home with you. That's
Oh,
the
yeah.
thing. It's people don't understand. They think you're a vulture and intruding and everything. It's like, no, it's just
Well,
we
they gotta
do the
realize
same things.
You're human too.
Exactly.
You're not a
go through the
robot.
same things that, when people lose a child or something. I've lost a child. I know exactly what they're going through.
Yeah.
It's not the same, but I do know the process.
Yeah.
And, it's tough. You carry it with it. If you have any sense of empathy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or when these kids are shot, or
Yeah.
when these kids drown.
Yeah. It's heart-wrenching. It does. It just wears on you. And people get worn out. There are a lot of people. I know at least 6 people that have committed suicide that all worked in the media.
You're kidding.
Nope. And it's sad. It is absolutely pitiful.
Wow.
And, there's one, one of his last words, he had a really bad day and he killed himself. And nobody ever thought that he would do it.
Yeah.
He never talked about it. Just regular, even-keeled guy. And then,
wow.
And one of the things he said in a letter was, prop someone up today, because you never know what kind of a day they're having. And
Yeah.
that was the saying. And we all say prop someone up, all of us photographers.
Yeah.
When I was at the scene, the photographer from Channel 8 was there, the one from Channel 5 was there, and they were worried about me because they could tell I was not having a good day.
Yeah.
And, he's worried, and I appreciate all the support. I put it on Facebook and everything else, but I appreciate all the support. It does help. But, sometimes we all have demons, and some of us walk with our demons every day.
Yeah.
And sometimes, but they're demons. They do demon things, and you got to recognize when they're acting up and
Wow.
deal with it. So
Yeah.
Well, that's why we try and be really light here.
yeah,
We really have a good time.
absolutely, it's great.
Yeah. Well, I remember Joe Keogh one time going. Remember, Doc? He had to go see you because he didn't hear. He was
Yeah.
worried.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember
that was a really bad day.
Yeah, he was really worried.
Yeah,
Wow.
so
Okay. Well, we'll talk about fishing on the other side. So Joan's gonna have to wait a little bit. So we'll take a short break and we'll be back.
one, so I picked on you.
If you missed the live version of Inside the Great Outdoors, you can catch the rebroadcast Sunday nights at 11 p.m. on WHKRadio.com.
Inside the Great Outdoors is now available as a podcast. Just open up your iTunes and search the Apple Store for Inside the Great Outdoors. Click subscribe and you'll start getting the show downloaded to your computer as soon as it's available. Put it on your favorite MP3 player and take the show with you on the go. Check out the podcast today.
Hey, it's time to fill your freezer. Stop by and see Dion's Meats at one of their two locations. They're located at the West Side Market, or you can go to the corner of Pleasant Valley Road and York in beautiful downtown Parma. Dion's offers a wide variety of fresh local pork, beef, poultry, and deli meats. They also feature a select line of fresh veal and lamb products. Here at Dion's, our mission is to provide only the best quality of products, selection, and service. In business for over 10 years, Dion strives for customer satisfaction, 100% quality guarantee. We have local products delivered to us fresh every day. With over 28 varieties of fresh sausage, we have something for everyone. Don't know what's for dinner? Let us help you decide with our specialty line of oven-ready products. Dion's prepares everything on-site with fresh, natural ingredients. Dion's Meats, Westside Market, and in Parma.
For those that fish Lake Erie and are used to fishing with Dipsy divers, I think they've got to try my diver, Castaway's Magnetic Diver. And what's so neat about it, it's a magnetic release. So you don't have to fight with the problem with the regular Dipsies is that they'll trip. You got to bring them in.
Or sometimes they won't trip.
Or they won't trip. This is a magnetic release, so you let it into the water, and as it has slack, it falls and it sets and then dives. And then when a fish hits it, it trips it, comes to the surface and comes in. But the neat thing about it as well is you can fish with it. You can trip it. You can let it come up through the water column. You can reset it. So it's a great way to get a bait down and away from the boat. So it's Castaway's Magnetic Diver, but it's something, if you're a troller, you need to look into. It's a great product and a great way to make fishing a lot easier and a lot more productive. Order yours today.
The Inside the Great Outdoors Fishing Report, brought to you by Mogador Bait, Tackle, and Marine Repair. For all your fishing needs, head to Mogador Bait and Tackle and Marine Repair.
There she stood in the street, smiling from my head to her feet.
Welcome back. Listening to Inside the Great Outdoor. Before we get to the fishing report, let's get to Joan. How's it going?
Oh, hi, Joe.
How are you?
Hey.
I'm doing good. And I have two things to say. First, sometimes when I'm listening to the news on the radio, because I don't watch TV. My TV's under my bed, and the news put it there. But anyway, really, I listen to all the different radio stations.
Yeah.
But when I'm listening to the news, because my cousin's in news, too, I think of just listening to it, I'm getting post-traumatic stress.
Yeah.
And I think these people have to go out and film this every day. But God is good to you, Carl.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you had that bad time, but then he let you catch all those fish.
Yeah, see, that was your reward. That was your reward,
out.
catching all those fish for what you had to go through earlier in the week.
Absolutely.
See?
Exactly. And then the other thing, the first time I called and said, could somebody teach me to fish? I'll try to make this quick, and I don't want to make it real heavy. But I had a brother that got hit by a car when I was 14, and I had post-traumatic stress from that. We had to take care of him for 19 years, and then he died when he was 19. And then my other brother took his own life. So the first time I called to ask Carl to teach us to fish is because my granddaughter that he taught to fish had a little sister that had just died, and then the next sister born had a brain tumor. And I thought of an idea because I felt that trauma of my brother, my two brothers that died, and I felt Claire's trauma of her sister died. I still want to start a fishing school. I'm not that good at fishing, but I want to start something for children of, like I was going to call it, siblings of sick children. I have all kinds of names I've already thought of, but then I thought, well, what if they're not sick? But anyway, I still want to start something like that angel tree.
Yeah.
Where when you're fishing, you're forgetting about
You
those
forget
new
about
people.
everything. You don't think about. I don't care what it is. You don't think about it.
Those, seeing that body before they put the sheet. You just throw and you teach that boy to fish, and you're in the sun. I still want to start that fishing thing.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know how I'm going to do it, but
it's
this trauma is real. People, there's so many people that we could just, if we could teach them to fish.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you did it again yesterday.
It's
You
better
taught
than
that
any
boy
medicine
how to
that you
fish.
can take.
Yeah.
That boy is never going to forget the day you taught him to fish yesterday.
Right.
No.
Well, when he caught that crappie, I thought of Claire when she caught her first fish and was so happy and reeling it in, and you know, and he was the same way. It was
Carl, and I didn't even know I had a fish. You go, you caught one, and I go, I did, really?
It's odd that how you never
something.
forget those things, and it's odd that why is fishing so gratifying? You know, it's something pulling on something you're holding on to.
Yeah,
yet
that
it's
sense
got,
of accomplishment.
Yeah, but
and you know, before I learned to fish, I always observed from walking dogs in all the different areas of town, fishermen are always so calm and peaceful and quiet.
you don't see anybody all riled up.
And
unless they
nice.
lose a big one. But outside of that, they're, you know.
Sure.
But I stay up at night thinking, how am I going to get this done? Am I going to start a nonprofit? Am I going to go to Cornerstone of Hope and get some kids that have had some trauma? But my wheels are spinning. And that's why, Carl, I said I like to get families together.
Yeah.
Because I know there's a lot of families that all have, they're walking around with pain, but they're putting a smile on their face.
Yep. Yeah,
and
there's
it's people like you and everybody in this show. That's why I love this show. I crack up every Sunday morning. I'm like, oh, because you guys keep me happy. So,
Good. We're doing what we're hoping is happening.
And I'm sorry that you have to see all that tragedy, but at least you get to see some fun.
Well, you're somewhat used to it because you've gone through it, so you know what to expect. Not that it's easy.
Fishing is the key. There's something different about fishing than any other sport.
Hunting is pretty close too, because when you're sitting there and you see different things, so it's not the killing. That's 1%, 0.5%. It's the one reason I really like hunting is, first of all, you wouldn't go sit in a tree to just observe wildlife, but you get to see wildlife when you're up in a tree that animals are acting like when nobody's around.
Yeah.
Because when you're around, it's way different. But when you're there and you're seeing...
The 8 that are in my backyard, there's 8 of them every morning.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like we live in the city. I was talking to this guy that hunts. He was the pool man, and he was closing it down. And he said, I hunt. And he said, but what they really don't understand is we could do it back here. Because it's a tiny little backyard, and every morning there's 7 or 8 deer back.
Yeah.
Big guy with horns and everything, or whatever they call it.
Buck.
Antlers.
But anyway,
Antlers,
just pray for me that I could figure out what I'm going to do. But I'm going to teach kids that have had trauma how to fish.
Good.
Awesome.
Yeah. Keep us posted.
Carl, see, it was like when you throw a pebble in a pond. It's one little pebble made these ripples fly out.
Yep. Good.
But I had the idea before you taught me.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys, and thanks for all the laughs.
Good. We appreciate it and glad you listened.
Joan. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That was very interesting.
Very nice. Very
Extremely interesting.
From the heart.
Very humbling.
Yeah, when
call.
you do something from the heart.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's
it's like calls like that, and the birthday gifts and stuff, which I'm wearing one of the shirts today.
Yes, from Mary
and Linda.
And Linda.
And wore 2 or 3 during the week, and love them, and they
Nice
fit.
looking.
They're beautiful.
Yeah,
and
they fit.
Yeah, we have
comfortable.
We really have a great audience.
Yeah.
We do.
Yep.
We really do.
Even
Very-
the people that don't like us like us.
Yeah, they
Very appreciative.
want us to talk about hunting, but we
We
got
will
other-
talk when
talk
the
about
season's in. We
When
talk.
I
we
did
talk a little
mention-
more.
And even like Mike's questions about mushrooms and things, you know, if there are people out there, somebody that knows mushrooms,
that
and
we'll talk about.
they can call in
Yeah.
and talk about it if they
Yeah.
want, and you know, that's
I wish I knew more about mushrooms,
There-
and I wish I
right.
knew more about constellations.
there are some places they have like a class, they'll teach you about the mushrooms and stuff.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it, is to so you can see them in person.
Yeah, there's so
And-
many, and so many look like
and they're lookalikes, and that's what you
lookalikes
have to
that are
watch
good and
for.
bad. Oh, we got to get, because she calls always
Okay.
so nice. Hello, Diane.
Good morning.
How are
Good
you?
morning, everybody.
Hey,
I'm
how
fine,
are
thank you.
Good.
Very good, very good. I wanted to just mention Joan's call. She sounds like an absolutely wonderful lady.
Oh, yes.
Very nice.
Very.
And I have a suggestion for her to maybe get in touch with Rainbow Babies and Children's Hospital
Oh,
and ask them
yeah.
to maybe steer her in a direction.
Yeah, they
and,
got to have some department there. I don't know even what
Good
you
idea.
would call it, but it would be after the fact help, would put it in simple terms.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
Well-
that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
You
And-
need to
and you
work
know
with
what?
somebody, to get it to get it organized.
Someone who's involved in,
Yes.
taking care of,
Yes.
of children.
Yes.
Yep.
And,
That's a good one.
Joe, I have to respectfully kind of disagree with your idea of hunting being a good sport for those children, because I don't know. I think that's kind of got some trauma involved in it.
Well, yeah,
Although
maybe not.
Many wonderful parts of it, but how about birding?
Yeah.
Birding's a
Oh, yeah.
great-
I wasn't saying hunting for kids yet, but
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were referring
Oh no,
to Joan's
no,
call with
no! I
that.
was just saying that why I enjoy hunting, because I get to
Oh,
see animals in natural state, and I wouldn't go there, or I'm not going to climb this mountain hunting sheep just for the heck of it. It's just too hard. But there's a reason you have to do it, so to speak. But shooting an arrow, doing some of the skills, but no, fishing
Oh, yeah.
for young kids,
Yep.
that can come later. That can come later.
oh, well, those,
the
bow
birding
and arrow skills, that sounds good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not against hunting by any means. I
I
don't
know,
mean that.
no.
I just thought you were connecting
Oh,
the
no.
two,
No,
and it kind
fishing.
of struck me along
Yeah,
the,
sure.
the PTSD type
Yeah.
thing. And
Oh, no, that would
well, anyhow,
probably be
thank you. God bless you all.
good. You always have such
Thank
a
you
nice
very
call,
much.
and that's
Thanks,
a great
Diane.
idea.
Yeah. Thanks, Dan.
Okay, and we'll take a short break. Listen to Inside the Great Outdoors, and we'll be back.
Since 1964, Mogador Bait, Tackle, and Marine Repair has served the outdoor community. Fresh, lively bait, tackle for any species of fish, plus rod and reel repair. They'll even fix lanterns and camp stoves. Need propane? They can fill your tanks. Check out their spring boat prep special. For more information, give them a call at 330-628-9872.
We are in studio once again with our friend from Empire Window Company, Bill Gardner. Bill, how you doing?
Pretty good. How about you, Bob?
I'm doing well, but not as well as I think some of your new customers are going to be doing. Let me make sure I understand this. You are offering a house of windows for $3 a day, a house of siding from $6 a day, and a house of windows and siding together for less than $10 a day. Is that right?
That's right, Bob.
I don't understand. I mean, you're talking about a house of windows or a house of siding for about the same price or less as a cup of coffee a day.
With the weather changing quickly, there really couldn't be a better time for these type of specials.
Yeah, and these specials are pretty unbelievable, though. I hope you're ready. I hope you got staff hired to take all of the phone calls you're going to get. The phones are going to be ringing for a deal like this.
I look forward to working with your listeners, and we'll be ready. We've been doing this a while.
Over 60 years in business, right?
That's right, almost 65 now.
Wow, that is incredible. Incredible pricing, incredible service, and incredible install as well. I don't know if there's ever been a better time to call for windows and siding. Call 855-76-EMPIRE. That's 855-76-EMPIRE. And to log on at EmpireWindowCompany.com. Hey, Bill, why do you do this?
Because you deserve a fair price.
Hey, it's Josh. Is your son or daughter heading off to college soon? Well, guess what? You're in luck because MyPillow is bringing back the $25 extravaganza. The 2-pack of multi-use MyPillows, just $25. MyPillow sandals, $25. Beach towels, $25. Their 6-pack towel set and recliner pillows, you guessed it, just $25. Sheets and blankets starting at $25. Another amazing offer is on the mattress topper for college dorm beds. You know those beds aren't comfortable. The Twin XL topper fits most college dorm beds and will help your kid get a great night's sleep. The MyPillow topper comes in every bed size, and you can put it right over your current mattress. Believe me, you will feel the difference. It provides the best support. So, for these amazing offers, they won't last, so order now. Just go to MyPillow.com, use the promo code BOOTH, or call 800-315-8130. Again, that promo code is BOOTH.
Welcome back. Since our timing is a little goofed up, we're going to start first with the fishing report that we didn't get to get.
I know I've been talking about it all morning, but crappies.
Well, you only talked about that day. So what about?
Crappies are on at Nimisila. They're catching them at Berlin. They're catching them at Mosquito, and they're starting to set up in their fall pattern. So it's still transitioning because the weather's been hot.
Do you think
back and forth? But
you
I
think
don't know
it's
what it was
be
yesterday.
okay?
But a lot of the fish were on yesterday.
Do you think how the weather with the trees and everything else is going to be an early fall? Do you think that also relates to the fishing?
I think it might be a little bit earlier this year. The bite might get a little better earlier.
Okay.
I know also fishing report wise, they have been catching a steelhead or two in the rivers near the mouths, like at the Rocky up there. I know guys that have been trolling and perch fishing at the mouth of the Rocky are seeing steelhead jump out there right at the mouth of the river. So they're moving in, they're ready, but we haven't had any rain in such a long time that the rivers are very low. But if we get a good cold rain and the river's flows pick up, those fish will be in that river toot sweet, as they say.
What's it?
The toot sweet.
Toot sweet?
Yeah.
What's that?
En français. They're
fast.
going to be there quickly.
Oh, is that the word for
Mais
fast?
oui.
Okay.
Yes.
I was talking to my son, and he said that he saw some reports up in Pennsylvania, Elk Creek. They got some rain up in Erie. One of those storms that was over the lake hit up in the Ashtabula, Erie, PA area, and Elk Creek got a little flow to it, and the steelhead moved in. So they were catching them at the mouth of Elk Creek.
And like Bud was saying, they're eating those bugs.
They're eating the spotted lanternflies.
That's something.
Yeah. Opportunists.
That's something.
Fish are opportunists.
Yeah.
So, but the perch fishing out west has been pretty good. Good-sized fish, but like Bud said, it's hit and miss. You'll find them one day, and if you go back the next, they're not there.
Or they're
not biting.
But they're just not biting.
And they might be eating. I mean, there have been bug hatches. The midges, there's been another midge hatch, and the fish might be full of bugs. They might not be hungry. So.
Yeah, they just filled up. They don't eat 24 hours a day.
Right.
Yeah. Try different methods. Try little jigs. Try blade baits.
I've
try
also
all kinds of things. Yeah.
I've heard of some folks catching some walleye off of Cleveland too, in like 38, 40 feet of water.
Right. Oh.
So I've seen some boats out there every day at good old Channel 3 that overlooks the airport and the lake there. I go out in the balcony and look and count the boats and see people trolling. Yeah, so there's some folks fishing Cleveland and catching. The walleyes have been really good out to the east in Geneva. 70 feet of water. It's just still out. It's not as far out when you go off Geneva to get to 70 feet, but it's like 8-10 miles, I think. Where here it's like 18 miles, so you got to go way out to get 70 feet here off of Cleveland. So it's but the walleyes are going to start moving in closer to shore with the night bite, so that's going to be coming up once the water temperatures get down a little bit more. But yeah, inland lakes, the crappies are starting to hit. They're doing really well. Like I said, Berlin, and they're hitting those little jigs, those little soft plastics. And I use the Cast Craze, and you can, if you like Bobby Garlands, use Bobby Garlands. Use whatever you want, but use Gulp minnows. Those are really good this time of year.
Be careful if you're going out. Wear your PFDs. Did you hear about that kayak?
The kayak. He got stranded.
Boy, is he lucky.
Very lucky.
And remember, if you're not going to paddle against Lake Erie,
right?
You're not going to paddle against Lake Erie.
If the wind changes and the currents change, the wave directions, you'll get pushed and pushed and pushed.
They'll push you to Peely.
Yep. All the way out in the middle of the lake, and you'll get lost, and nobody will find you for days.
Yep. And when it's too late.
And yep.
The other lucky thing for that guy is the water was warm.
Yep.
If that would happen in the spring,
cold water
he'd be dead.
Yeah, there's a guy that does seminars and stuff about that, about cold water, handling kayaking cold water and kayaking Lake Erie. His name is Chuck Earls.
Yeah.
And if you look him up online, he's one of the most knowledgeable kayak anglers that there is out there. He does great seminars.
What's his name again?
Chuck Earls, Earls.
Okay.
And he goes to outdoor shows and does seminars on safety and.
Oh, that's good.
He's a local guy.
Yeah, he's from Cleveland. Great guy too. Really nice guy.
Yeah.
But
friendly.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's an abbreviated fishing report. And again, the most important thing is to get out there and try.
It is odd, when you go fishing, you don't think about anything else because you're concentrating on catching a fish.
And
so that
even when you're
mind.
done, it clears your mind. And even when you're finished, you still have whatever is in your mind that you were dealing with.
Right.
But it just makes it easier to deal with it because it gets rid of all the noise.
Yes.
You know? So you can take care of whatever the issue is or the problem or talk about it or and not get all riled up about it.
Because when you
easier
look back
to deal
at
with things.
You look back at it, what was the big deal? Why are you so concerned about something? It ain't that important.
But if you're going on a boat, think safety for yourself and for your crew.
Absolutely. Safety. That's always number one. So.
And the weather is a big thing for Lake Erie, the weather.
Especially this time of year because the weather can change out there in a heartbeat.
Oh, yeah. Water spouts.
Yep. So keep your weather radio on and check your forecasts and have a plan. Have a plan. Let somebody know where you're going, where you're going to be, where you're coming home. Let people know. So, it's just a safety thing. So,
we'll forget about the story. We can do it next week. But the thing about Joan, which is really commendable, that she has that. There's people in the world that have some really care, and they want to spread the care, not keep it. But the idea of going to the Children's Hospital, I know they have a after the fact, and that's not the right term.
There's support.
They have support, and they would be a fantastic way of, and then maybe getting.
I know there's groups. I know the VA hospital. I've done stuff with them and helped them out with fishing, and get them fishing rods and stuff. And, and they'll take groups of disabled veterans fishing.
Yeah,
and have a day, a fishing day, and They just love it. I mean, that's one of the best things that the VA does. A lot of folks that work at the VA.
Don't they do some hunting thing
fish.
too? On a limited basis.
On a limited basis. So,
right.
Because there's a handicapped in hunting. They take some disabled vets hunting. I think there's down in it's down in South Central Ohio somewhere.
Yeah.
There's a place.
Yeah.
That they have there's a group that does it. I can't remember the name of it though. But yeah, just I've done stuff with the Cleveland the Blind Center, where they used to take the folks from the Blind Center out on the holiday perch fishing.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I've done some stuff with them, got them some fishing rods. They actually wrote me a nice letter, the folks at the Blind Center.
Yeah.
Helping out.
Seeing those
Project
people.
Healing Waters, that's another good one that helps disabled veterans, and they do fly fishing and things like that, and fly tying and talk fishing and get together.
See, and there's somebody in those groups that's like a Joan, that are instigators, not the right word.
They're motivated.
But motivated to spread good. And those are important. They need more of them.
To share the joy they get.
Right.
That's and I've always said that in my fishing and doing it since I was 4 or 5 years old, whatever, and all the people that helped me along the way.
Sure.
And sharing information and teaching and things like that. It's like you do that. You share that information with other people. That's the joy that I get from it, is watching people like Joan's granddaughter catch that fish, and the smile and the laughter.
Yeah, you can't.
And
And
the guy, the gentleman Reese was his name yesterday.
Yeah.
And he was just smiling ear to ear and laughing.
And
I can't believe it
and he'll always remember. And now he's going to have more success because for what he learned.
Yeah, and that's
next time he goes.
That's the and that's the thing about fishing.
The gratification.
It's just it's not just the act of fishing yourself. It's sharing with somebody, and it's like teaching somebody anything. If they take what you're showing them and turn it into a success,
right? Yes.
That's the thing.
Right.
It's like, wow, that was really cool. They're happy. You're happy that you could help them.
Like I say at the end of every show, it's gratifying giving somebody eggs. Guy came yesterday to buy chickens, and he bought chickens, and he said, "What do you do with yours?" I said, "I sell some, and then I give them away." He says, "That's what I do too. I don't care you get some gratification with making somebody smile, whether it's giving them a dozen eggs or telling them they have a pretty smile or whatever it is." This is a deep, deep show today. God, which, we never expected. Yeah. And we were a little bit concerned early about the caller and how we're conducting the show. And now look at how what we got at the end of it.
It's all input.
Yeah.
It's all appreciated.
We panned for gold early and we found some.
There you go.
See that? Some
Absolutely.
Real gold. Okay, well, we have a caller. We'll take a short break here. We got Good News Keo on the other side, and we're in the home stretch, so we'll be back.
Talk to me. It's all right. Yeah. Let's go.
Do you enjoy a good story about hunting or fishing? Then you need to get your hands on Tales from the Trails, the real-life adventures of Castaway Coulis. Take a journey around the world with Joe as he recounts some of his best hunting and fishing trips, from Africa to Alaska, from behind the Iron Curtain to Australia. You can share in his memories through the book, complete with pictures to take you on the journey. It's a trip back in time looking through the eyes of an outdoors legend. Order your copy today on Amazon or at castaway.com. That's Castaway with a K.com.
The Fireplace Shop of Northfield has been serving Northeastern Ohio for 38 years, and we have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. We're running our fall special for the chimney cleaning and inspection for your wood or gas fireplaces. We also specialize in gas, logs, pellet stoves, and inserts. We will thoroughly clean the chimney and firebox and do up to a 21-point safety inspection to make sure everything is in good, safe working condition for you to use. We offer masonry repairs, chimney liners, SS caps, gutter cleaning, waterproofing, chimney rebuild, and certified gas line installations, and give free estimates. We are licensed, insured, and bonded, and accept all checks and all major credit cards. Call 330-468-0303. Stop in and visit our newly decorated 6,000 square foot showroom with 50 burning displays.
My granddad bought me my first bow when I was 10 years old. Told me he'd take me out bow hunting when I was ready. I practiced and practiced, and I got my first whitetail hunting with him on my 13th birthday. Granddad's gone now, but I think of him every year during deer season. So tonight, whether I bag a buck or not, I'm going to stop at Discount Drug Mart and pick up a bottle of his favorite wine. And I'm going to raise a glass in his honor. Thanks for the memories, Granddad. And thanks for helping, Drug Mart.
Welcome back. Listening to Inside the Great Outdoors. Time for good news with Good News Kale. How's it going, buddy?
Hey, it's going well. Hey, I just came in on the tail end of your last conversation.
Oh boy, we had a conversation.
Yeah, I was doing some research, and I did not have the program, so I missed. Were you guys talking about Patriots on the Fly at all?
No, that was a different one. That was one I saw that in the Outdoor News this week. They had a nice article about Patriots on the Fly.
What is what?
Yeah, if I might.
Yeah.
This is the dateline is Mentor, Ohio. Diane Wantz of Mentor is lucky. I'm going to quote from the article here. She's been able to combine her passion for fly fishing and giving back to those men and women who have served in our armed forces. Wantz is president of Patriots on the Fly, a new group in Ohio that describes itself as a conduit to the world of fly fishing for disabled veterans. It's not just disabled veterans, it's open to all veterans. Wantz and a group of volunteers got to know one another through another national fly fishing group and decided to branch off and form the nonprofit Patriots on the Fly, just for Ohio. The program began last May. What the program does is pair fly fishing volunteers with service-connected veterans to teach them the ins and outs of the sport. We've got 50 people on the roster already, and it's pretty equal between volunteers and patriots.
That's cool.
So part of the curriculum involves of Patriots on the Fly is conducted in a classroom setting where fly tying is taught along with general fly fishing discipline. And then there's actual on-the-water fly fishing that takes veterans and volunteers to take part in. And it's not just steelheading. They kind of split it. You know, if you want a farm pond fly fish, if you want a stream fly fish. If you're interested, go to Patriots on the Fly, all one word, .org, Patriots on the Fly, if you want to participate and learn more about fly fishing, or you love fly fishing and want to volunteer to help instruct. I'm sure they'd love to hear from you. Again, that's patriotsonthefly.org.
Very good. So, that's good.
Yeah, they're
getting people out there and teach. That's great stuff.
It was a good article in the Outdoor News, the info in there, and you know it's good to see folks and that are reaching out and helping people that
giving back.
Yeah.
Giving back,
and it's fun and it's gratifying. You know.
Oh yeah. So nice to make somebody smile. You know, because it's win-win.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I just saw a reel on Facebook yesterday, and it kind of off topic here a little bit, but kind of on the same vein of thought. There was a trooper, I think it was Mississippi, stopped a young lady for speeding, and she says, I don't have any money. I've got a kind of a dead end job. And so he took her back to the cruiser, and they talked for about 15 minutes.
Oh.
And he offered, well, what do you like to do? What are you interested in? And so she wanted to be a nurse. So she said, okay. He said, okay, if you promise you're going to look into that, I'll give you a warning. And it inspired this young lady. And he wrote right on there on the warning. He says, look into nursing or scrub school. And so she did. And now she's a nurse. And she saved that little ticket. And she said it was someone that just took a moment of their time to help inspire me.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of the same vein. And I'd like to kind of get to the culture aspect because I think it's going to spark a little bit of a discussion here.
Good.
This is from Fred Bear. Now, Fred Bear is, he was a legend. I mean, there's no other way to put it.
Yeah.
And he was quite cerebral as well. And he's quoted as having said, if you consider an unsuccessful hunt to be a waste of time, then the true meaning of the chase eludes you altogether.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I'm thinking back, my deer hunting in the 1970s was just a big fat goose egg.
Oh, yeah.
I spent many, many hours in the woods, but there just weren't a lot of deer around in the 1970s. But I don't consider any of that a waste of time. The things that I saw and experienced while sitting in the woods just would be difficult to replicate.
Oh, yeah. As you say that, as you say that, I remember going to Pennsylvania, getting on a set of deer tracks, and thought that I could catch up with it. And I would go and go and go and go and go, and I'd never see it, or you'd see the feed, in the thicket, and you think, that was kind of dumb, but you didn't know, but you enjoyed it.
And there are those that might say, well, you don't have to be deer hunting. You don't have to have a gun. You don't have to kill anything. You can just go into the woods. Well, sure you can.
Sure.
Yep. Of course you can. And I would encourage you to do that. However, there is a difference.
Oh, yes.
And the obvious difference is bringing meat home. But another difference is I don't think there are many people that would go out and sit in one spot in the woods for 4, 6, 8, 10 hours a day.
Right. And not freeze to death in the middle of winter.
They're so bored.
And see what happens.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the things that you experience while you're sitting by yourself alone in the woods for hours on end.
You can't get that
your
anywhere.
Mind kind of wanders.
No.
You think of things that you wouldn't normally think of.
Right.
You see things that you wouldn't normally see. I remember I had hundreds of experiences of unsuccessful deer hunts.
Sure.
Or turkey hunts, but were successful because of the things that I experienced out there in the woods. And, whether it's a couple kit foxes playing, running back and forth, chasing each other, rough and tumble.
And when that happens,
they had no idea.
Right. The other thing is it's the anticipation of what you might see.
Oh, sure.
You might see that one buck of a lifetime, or you might this, or it's
every time you hear a twig crack.
Yes.
You know what? It is behind
you.
You
know it's a big deer and it's a squirrel.
Well, that's what like the guy yesterday. There was an eagle. You could hear it calling because there was an osprey flying around, and they don't like each other too much. But you could hear the eagle, and I was like, "Oh, do you hear that eagle?" And the guy's like, "What? What are you talking about?" I said, "Listen."
Yeah.
And he heard it, and he's like, "That's an eagle?" I said, "Yeah."
Yeah.
There's a nest, right? And they're flying over, and it flew over, and he's like, I never saw an eagle before. And he was, it was like,
I want to get this in quick because I got a note from a listener and about Joan. She should call, and I'll spell this out. It's called ALATEEN, Alateen, I think, and contact the AL-ANON. It's an office in Cleveland.
Al-Anon? Yeah.
Okay, you know about it. And shared with them, and they could be of help. So I wanted to make sure I got that in. So thank you to the listener that brought that up. But yeah, we've had an interesting show today.
That's a good
Joe.
show,
man. Really good. Really go.
A lot of deep topics.
Yes. Very deep. Very.
And thank you for letting me spew about work and my bad week and the catharsis of the release of all of that tension and everything. It helps. So, helps to talk about it. And it's nothing to be ashamed of. So
yeah.
And helping people. That's Joan's great, and I hope she finds a place to channel all that energy because
and if we could be of any help,
she's got the motivation. She really does. She's a really good lady.
Yeah.
And she sent me a picture of her granddaughter that had the brain tumor going to kindergarten.
Good.
So good for her.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We got to go, Joe. Thanks.
All right. Have a great weekend.
Talk to you next week.
See you, Joe.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Whew. Wow.
Got
what
a lot
show.
in.
It has been a show. That was a good one.
Ooh, boy, different, but heartwarming. Heartwarming.
Yep.
That might be the easiest way to put it.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was. It was good.
It makes you think.
And every day leaving here, regardless of the topics, I know I drive home smiling because it's a good show.
Because you got somebody to pick on.
This is a good.
Because you don't have anybody else.
This is a good way.
Hey, you got off easy, Joe.
Yeah.
Like every week.
Oh, yeah.
Today.
That's what I keep hearing.
Hey, there's always next week, buddy.
Oh, God. Well, get out there, make some memories. We sure had a lot to talk about today, so making somebody else smile, everybody win. Whether just go say, boy, you have a pretty smile. Or,
thanks.
Or anything. Just make it light, because especially people in the store, they don't have that very often. And when they get that, it's a win. And remember, a day without a smile is a day wasted, and we got no time to be wasted. The older you get, shorter. There's more behind you than that's ahead, so take advantage of it. And as my mother would always tell me, Joey, don't you ever take any wooden nickels.
You've been listening to Inside the Great Outdoors with Joe Kulis, Joe Keogh, and Dr. Norm. Join us every Sunday morning from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. on AM 1420 The Answer. Download the podcast of today's show and previous broadcasts at IGOradio.com. Follow the show on Facebook and get interactive with the cast and crew. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week, 7 a.m., right here on AM 1420 The Answer.